Hey
Hello,
guys!
everyone.
Welcome
Hi.
back to Spines and Spells.
Love you guys. We missed you.
For those that are new, I'm Leslie.
And I'm Lay. Hello.
And what are we doing today, Lay? What are we doing today?
We are discussing a couple books.
Couple.
And I think that it is time to introduce a new segment that we haven't in the past. And we're going to do Peeves and Pages today. Yes. I love Peeves and Pages. Okay, so if you guys don't know what Peeves and Pages is, it is basically stuff that we have issues with, or we don't want to say hate, because that's a very strong word.
Hate's a very strong word.
It's a strong word.
Strongly dislike.
Strongly dislike, but then also, we do have a lot of controversial topics, but Peeves and Pages, we want to know your opinion, we want to know what you think, and I also write it down here, so let us know.
And also, we're looking to, put polls up as well to hear, everyone else's responses.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'll just say, being new to, seeing the book community react really well.
Oh, my God. It was amazing.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
because, we've been trying so hard. And I want to give a shout out to one person in particular.
Yes.
Roaming with Books. We love you, girl. We do. We really do. We appreciate everything. Literally right out of the gate, as soon as our first episode, got dropped. Even before that.
Before the episode, when we posted.
When we started posting, she was so sweet. She seemed so sweet. She, DM'd us and everything. Mm. And, she's out from, Ohio area.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
That's amazing.
That we reached the Ohio area. Which, I've never been to Ohio.
And honestly, you have to tell us all about it.
You
Keep
do.
in contact, because we love you.
Because we love you. And the fact that, you're even, offering to, she's sending us a book, guys.
Guys.
It's
that book will be reviewed.
It will be reviewed, because it's Allie Hazelwood.
Well.
End of Leslie's marketing scheme.
I think another really, really good segue.
Oh, really good segue.
My deep love and appreciation, and something, hopefully, after reading, you might have an appreciation for now, is ACOTAR Thorns and Roses.
Let's talk about Sarah J. Maas in general.
Okay.
Let's talk about that in general.
All right.
Okay? Because, is that what you want to talk about for Peeves and Pages today? Is this your Peeves and Pages?
It is my Peeves and Pages.
Okay.
It is.
I want you to give me your best argument for why I should like Sarah J. Maas.
I think, though I hate being put on the spot, but I love it too.
That's the point of this podcast.
That's the plan. Okay, so Sarah J. Maas, like I said in the last podcast,
yes.
It's not a hard read. It gets you back. No, I have to say, and Sarah J. Maas, please do not hate me for this. I have so much love for you. Trust me. I really do. But ACOTAR Thorns and Roses is the first book.
Uh-huh.
And I have to say, it's not the best book of the entire series. Mm-hmm. It's a starter.
Uh-huh.
You were talking about your world building.
Uh-huh.
It starts out, it's basically like the prologue of the series. Mm-hmm. You really have to get into the second book, and I'm on the second and third book, guys. It is so good. Mist and Fury, love you. You have to get into that. So you have to read the prologue before you get into it. And no one likes reading the prologue that much.
No one does.
But here's the thing. My Peeves and Pages.
Go ahead, okay.
Sorry. My Peeves and Pages for myself is that I have a problem with one of the main characters. But I fall in love with one of the villains, which we're going to get into when we do our chapter talks.
Yeah.
But that you just have to get
about.
into. Who am I talking about? I want to see.
Is it Ryzan? Is it Ryzan?
Yeah, it is Ryzan.
I love him.
I love him. But here's the thing. You cannot say that you love him now. You have to fall in. You're going to fall head over heels.
Do, but that's the point.
You will. You're in your lustful stage right now.
Yeah.
The pure love point is when you're in the second book.
We're getting into lust versus love today. I wasn't expecting to get into that topic.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I literally just talked about that in my class. Myth versus folklore. We talked about lust versus love. Oh. I also shout out Professor Ely. Love Professor Ely. We covered that in Love, Testimonies of Love. Freshman first year seminar. Love him.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Now is it my turn to talk about?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I'm gonna address the book community out there. Because I feel bad, you know? I gave her a chance. And I think that's And I think that's being nice on my part, okay? I will say, from a world building perspective, this whole book is just world building. This whole first book is world building.
Yeah.
We'll get into it when we talk about the actual book.
Right.
But I do think, girl, you need to stop making things so complicated for yourself. Because there are some girl, the amount of world building, like, it's just the extensive amount of detail.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate it. I appreciate the detail being put in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you pay so much attention to a certain part, then other parts feel very left out. And I know that I've only read the first book so far, so I feel like the world building will get better.
It will.
As I continue reading, which we'll get into Leslie's thoughts later. But I will say, and also, like, I know that this one is based off of Beauty and the Beast. We all know. It's very obvious. And girl, I love a good retelling like any other girl. I want to read that Phantom of the Opera one that's been trending on TikTok.
Yes,
so bad.
Yes, I have to read that.
That's gonna go on our list because I love that book so much.
It's already there.
And there's so many other books that are retellings. I love not even just in books. I love film like film adaptions that are like based off of like I love a good Shakespeare retelling. Like 10 Things I Hate About You. love that movie so much.
It.
And Taming of the Shrew also love. So it's like it's a little Taming of the Shrew is a Shakespeare play.
Really?
And it's based in 10 Things I Hate About You is based off of Taming of the Shrew.
Okay.
And then Lion King, love.
Come on.
It's
classic.
It's based off Hamlet.
I never.
It's based off Hamlet.
I never made that connection, but
yeah.
Okay.
There's also so many other ones that my brain just can't remember.
That's
but yeah, and also like even like Bridget Jones' Diary, love, based off of Pride and Prejudice.
True.
And is casted with Colin Firth, who is an iconic Mr. Darcy. So I love a good retelling. Now, with that being said...
Okay.
And long-winded, that being said...
That's gonna hurt my feelings. I know.
It doesn't work here. Now, we'll get into that later, but your retelling has to work. And I think that's her fall point.
Yeah.
Is that she tried too hard to make it a retelling when she could have made it her own story.
Okay.
And I think that's my whole issue.
But yeah, okay. I see from your standpoint that if I only read the first book, I would be like, absolutely, this is not 10 out of 10.
It's not 10 out of 10.
I think it's a good, like, here's the thing. I think it's a good book. I think it's a good read. It's not, it's a good read. It will keep you hooked.
Yeah. And
it kept me hooked. It's entertained. But, like I said, the only thing I would say is it's a prologue, or it's like a chapter 1 out of a series, you know? It's like, you have to know, it's like base information before you get into the real story. Because I was like, okay, I read it, I was a fan. I wouldn't have been such a bigger fan of the series if I didn't start reading the second book. But again, I have to say that you want something, like you want an incentive to start reading the second book.
Yeah, and I think going into it, I knew it was going to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling because that was a big marketing point.
Yeah.
Well, ish. It wasn't like in the summary.
It's like you have to analyze it a little.
Which is the fun. I love a good fun part.
Right.
But in the beginning, I kind of got it. I was just like the dynamic between like the how do you pronounce it?
I think it's
Feyre.
Yeah.
Feyre's family.
Yeah.
It was reminiscent of that, and then and like later, which I'm not gonna say spoiler because to be honest, if you're gonna listen to this podcast, expect spoilers.
Absolutely. Because I'll have to put that in the description next time. Like
expect spoilers. Because and then like with Tamlin gifting Feyre her own studio with the paintings, and it's reminiscent of the Beast gifting her the library.
Yeah.
And even the fact that like her first view of Tamlin is the Beast.
The Beast. She literally calls him the beast, like the monster.
Literally the monster. And then like his whole transformation into who he is.
This magical
like, fairy. Which like don't even get me into fairy lore. Don't get me into that.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
For me specifically, you can ask my roommate about this.
Yes.
I started off and I was like, don't tell me that this is some pure animal thing.
That was my fear going into it, because so when I first read it, so like I didn't know anything about it. I went in blind.
Me too.
So I was like, please tell me this isn't a like animal love story.
Yeah.
I can't handle that.
I can't.
That's why I'm worried, because there is
It's a community.
It is a community, and there is an Allie Hazelwood book out there called Bride.
Okay.
Which is like, I think, a werewolf.
But that's different.
But that's different.
That's different.
Like, which so many people I know are like, get angry with me, because I'm just like, well, werewolves are different. They're still human. They just transform into beasts at some point. It's different.
I mean, but there's like a lot of debate. Arguably, they could say the same thing for Tamlin and
which,
like the Fae.
which is like, if I didn't get to the point where he transformed into who we know Tamlin as,
right?
Then I would thought, oh, it's just one of those animal books. But it very much, like, I can't pinpoint like where I got hooked at some point. Yeah. I think it was around the relationship. I was really interested in the relationship between Feyre and Tamlin at first. Right. But then I was like, Tamlin's eh.
See, we have completely different, like,
Tamlin's eh.
See, at the end of the story I was like, Tamlin, he can go somewhere else. At the beginning though, I was like, listen, your family's kind of... Your family's trashy.
Her oldest sibling, who I'm forgetting the name of.
Well, oh my god, I forgot. Is it, what, E?
Give me 1 second and I'll look up. I'll pull up a family tree. We'll put it up on the screen.
We'll put it on the screen. But while she looks that up, I'm going to tell you that my first opinion was probably not the best. Because I was sitting here like, okay, girl, we get it. He didn't really kidnap you. He was like, listen, either I'm going to do you a favor, and instead of slaughtering you on the spot like you did my bestie over here, I'm going to let you come live in a castle, and I'm going to let you be by yourself. You're just chilling in a castle instead of living in a hut. I mean, okay, that makes it sound really bad how I just said it.
Yeah, that makes it sound real bad.
But okay. If you were, I want you guys to be honest. If you were presented the opportunity and said, hey, my entire family hates me, let me go live in a magical castle. Nesta. And I knew it was with an N or something.
It was Nesta.
You
were close. She has two sisters. She is Nesta, and Elaine. Or Elan. I don't know.
Elaine. I think it's Elaine.
I assume it's pronounced Elaine. I don't know.
I presume it's Elaine.
Yeah. And I just got part of it spoiled for me. But it's fine.
It's fine.
Thanks, Google.
Google will do that to you guys.
Yeah, I got spoiled for
but like,
it's fine.
I was just reading it and I was like, girl, like, why are you putting up such a fight? Yeah. Your father, if we're being realistic here, he probably would have sold her at one point.
I mean,
in that world.
Okay. Hear me out. I don't think that would have happened because she was the only one that was able to provide for the family.
True.
She provided purpose. What did the other two do?
Nothing. But imagine she breaks her leg or something.
Oh, valid. If she was injured, okay, she has her purpose up to a point. Yeah. And I agree with that. That's just like with any like any story like that. True. Like without anything. Right. If she got injured, let's say, or she wasn't able to do something, she would provide no purpose. It's like those stories where like the girl has something like wrong with her, and it's like from like the 1700s or 1800s, and she needs to be married off. Yeah. And like she's not getting any like offers.
Those tropes it's very common.
It's very common.
It's very common.
It's very common.
There's like 5 stories just popped up in my head at once. Like it was just like popping up on the
Name
screen.
them.
Minimum.
Name them. Name them.
Oh my gosh.
Go.
No, don't put me on the spot like that. You guys
I'm joking.
see what she does, guys?
I'm joking.
See what I have to do,
You don't have
guys?
to do that. You don't have to do that.
You know what? When I'm editing this, I will pop them on the screen.
The list.
The list will just be like in the middle of the screen.
Here.
Here, and here.
Uh-huh.
Watch that. I'm gonna purposely not make that match after my video.
Just for the joke.
Just for the bit.
But yeah, like another thing I want to talk about is another like because we're talking about our like little quirks with like not just this book but like books in general.
Our little peeves.
How do you feel about mates? And not just like mates as in like soulmate. I mean like cuz like I'll be honest, I read fan fiction.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? But I'm a fan of the soulmate trope. I'm a fan of that. I like a little like fan fiction where it's like, oh, you like there's something like on their body that like designates who their mate is and like to find out who it is. I like that trope. Now, when it comes to werewolves and animals and the idea of mates, and it's not just like not like beasts in general, but like in this context, fairies have mates. I think, according to Sarah J. Maas, I think. Those out there can correct me.
They can. Because I did read this book fairly quickly. So half of the characters, like, their names are out of my mind already.
Yeah. Like, I can't remember the Tamlin's...
friend?
Yeah.
Oh my god. It just popped out of my head. Like...
And I also know he's important.
And he's very important.
Do I remember his name?
And why am I know it's not Lawrence, but I'm giving him that name.
It starts with an L.
It does? Okay.
I feel like it does.
Guys, I read this book a little long ago.
Lucian. We were close.
I was close with the L. But
yeah.
Okay. Specifically for this book, I think she wanted to add a little bit of a
okay.
I'm gonna tread lightly and say trauma to it, or a little something just to add the depth to the plot.
Yeah.
But it made me a little uncomfy.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's certain ones like the soulmate ones, or have you heard of like the ribbon tie one? Like you'll see a ribbon appear.
Those ones are like fun.
Yeah, it's like I like them. Like you see the red ribbon attached to someone, or like the little heart birthmark,
or like the soulmate. Here's the song that whatever song plays, and like that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what in their head. I like those. But when they're a little like scary, and they make you a little uncomfy.
Or the fact that it's like constantly like, oh, I have the urge to touch you. Sorry. And this is me speaking directly to Miss Stephanie Meyer.
Oh.
The idea of imprinting is gross.
Oh.
And you know what? This makes me think of that.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what, Sarah J. Maas? I think it's not your original idea. Because let's be honest.
Ooh.
It's very similar. And
it did remind me a little bit of the Twilight action.
For those that haven't read Twilight, and who hasn't, I'll be honest, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably have. But I'll give the rundown of the idea of imprinting.
Right.
So, in the Twilight saga, you get introduced, I think maybe like in New Moon, because that's when they truly introduce the werewolves.
I think so, yeah.
And there's the whole idea of imprinting, which gets explained by Jacob Black, I think. I know in the films, at least, it's explained by Jacob Black.
Yeah, is at least the one in the movie. Yeah.
And the werewolves, when they turn and they hit a point, usually they explain that like when vampires come across, it increases the amount of turns. Jacob explains that you just feel a sense of attachment to someone.
Right.
Whether that, she backs out and says, whether that be, it could be whatever the other person wants it to be. It can be a friendship, a sibling relationship.
Right.
But usually it turns into a romantic thing.
Right.
What grosses me out, and the whole thing is like, oh, the werewolves can't control who they get who they imprint on.
Yeah.
And now I'm sure everyone knows the most iconic line from the Twilight Saga, and I have to reenact it.
Go right ahead.
You imprinted on my daughter? And now, of course, that is Bella Swan yelling at Jacob Black because Jacob imprinted on Renesmee when she was a baby.
Her child.
Now, this isn't the first time that this has occurred in the Twilight Saga.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because there was, I forget which werewolf, but he also imprints on a child.
Yes.
And it's gross.
And it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Because we all know, even...
It's like they can't help it. Like, yes, they can.
It's called Don't Do Anything About It. And just be like a protector. So what? Just don't do anything about it.
Like, I feel like there's so much that you can do with the, like...
So much.
Imprinting scene. Like, you can be like, okay, I'm naturally drawn to this person. Let me be a protector. Let me, make sure that they're okay. Mm-hmm. You know what? Even if you have to, here's a book idea from somebody, and it's bad. Don't make this a book, but, make them, I don't know, a sugar daddy or something. Contribute in an effective way. Don't mentally scar someone,
because
please.
I think even... Stephanie Meyer always argues, they could be, friends, or, a protector or something. But literally, a quote from them, from Jacob Black, in Breaking Dawn Part 2.
Ooh.
I know the exact one. Yes. When Renesmee is still, I think, maybe 10? She ages really fast. So I'm going to guess, 10, 8.
10,
something around that age. 10, 11, around the time.
Yeah.
He turns to Edward and goes, should I start calling you Dad? The child!
I didn't even... Because obviously I watched this when I was around her age. So, was I?
Yeah, it came out when we were 11, 12.
11, 12. 13, so we were the same age as this child.
Yeah.
And I'm that just went over my head.
Yeah.
But now, re-listening to it, that's disgusting.
He turns to Edward and says, should I call you Dad? Moment of silence for...
Moment of silence for that.
Moment over. Okay. I just want to get off this so much. It's that version of the mating trope that I do. I hate that it's forced upon. And that's what I hate.
I wish it was controllable because, especially with all of them, imprinting is, on such strong beings. Mm-hmm. You have strong mental, physical, power emotionally too. If Edward can control himself around Bella for that long, can't you just use some of your willpower?
Which, even with that,
everyone
claims that Bella is technically, because everyone that claims that are mates with each other, right?
Right.
Hot take.
Ooh.
Now this isn't that time, but
I love the hot take.
Bella is not Edward's mate.
Oh.
My hot take is that Bella is Edward's singer, which in the vampire community, for those that know vampire literature, means that he is only attracted to her blood, not her. Which explains why in Midnight Sun he's so worried about her dying. Because he is only attracted to her blood, and without her blood there, he's nothing. Hot take.
Wow.
There's a bunch that I like. There's just certain aspects of books that I don't like.
Yeah. I feel like to the point...
I'm sorry. Do you like Stephanie Meyer?
No.
Why are you defending her?
I'm just a very peaceful, nice person. Because I feel like the podcast, it gets to a point where it's we're just shitting on everything, and there's 2 minutes of the clip where we're we do like this.
Well, we do like this. Okay, there are books that I love. It's just, in this specific section, is called Peeves
and Pages.
Yeah. Well, so I'm allowed to talk about that I don't like.
I thought since we went to ACOTAR, we were back on chapter chats.
Oh, we can go back to chat. We can go to chapter chats now. I thought we were still on Peeves. Oh.
You know what? Continue, because this is actually getting a little interesting.
Oh, I don't...
This is where we do our weekly rant, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's... Okay. So the reason why I don't like Stephanie Meyer is because she pushes her agenda on everyone.
Okay.
As the Twilight community will know, Stephanie Meyer is Mormon. And,
Really?
She has a tendency to push a lot of her own agenda onto, which I'm not going to say that other authors don't do, because they do.
They do.
But she does it to such a degree.
Okay.
Because if you read Breaking Dawn, I keep saying Breaking Dawn Part 1, Part 2, because it's the films, but, like, Breaking Dawn, there is such a prevalent, and we don't get political on this, but to discuss this, I have to.
You have to.
So, there is such anti-abortion, pro-life agenda in that. Because there's such an argument between Bella and Edward over keeping Renesmee.
Right.
Because Renesmee at this point is killing Bella from the inside.
True.
Which, in this case, as Carlisle, the MD in this situation, says,
right,
maybe don't have the baby.
Like, if you want to live. Because doesn't she die for a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, she is just like, she looks at, also, she's still, like, they just got married. Maybe, like, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
They just got married. Because somehow Carlisle, the MD, who has been around the longest, didn't know that, like, okay, this is gonna get very detailed, and I apologize to those listening.
Right.
But I have to in order to explain. How did Carlisle not know that, for him living so long, did not know that when a vampire and a human woman go into the ocean and have sex, they wouldn't, like, because, like, somehow the water temperature warmed up Edward's sperm enough to give baby. Explain that, Stephanie Meyer. Explain that. I know for a fact you explained in one of the books, which is they did behind the scenes on the books, and like all the questions she get asked.
Yeah.
You answered the period question. Do you know the period question?
I do. I do.
Which, for those listening, the period question is, does Edward know when Bella's on her period? And the answer is yes. And you answered that.
I hope you guys caught, like, how uncomfortable I look just from, like, the period question.
Yeah.
You don't have to be deeply involved in Twilight to not know.
Because that gets brought up in all vampire literature.
It does.
Because in lore, and like...
Even, like, I think in Vampire Diaries...
they're like, oh, does Damon and Stefan know when Elena's on her period?
Yes! Okay, to be fair, though, I'm pretty sure the average person can tell when someone's on their period.
It's called being in pain, eating a lot of chocolate, living life. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it's a very interesting question, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I don't like Stephanie Meyer. Same reasons why I don't like Colleen Hoover, but that's besides the point.
Ooh. Ooh.
Come at me, Colleen Hoover.
Talking about our peeves and pages, I do want to bring something up. I have something prepared.
We do need to wrap this part up, but
we do need to wrap it up. Let's wrap it up, guys.
Wrap up this section so we can actually talk about the book.
But before we talk about the book, I did promise you and our fellow friends that I would finish Love Hypothesis.
And drum roll.
Drum roll, please. I rate it a 4.3 out of 5.
Why the 0.3? Why couldn't you just done 0.5? Why 0.3?
No,
Why that specific?
0.3, because it's not... I feel like there's certain little points that I took off.
For what?
Well, I had my notes, but my internet's not working.
For what?
From
your own memory.
From my own memory.
Why did you not like certain parts?
I feel like, and this is my personal opinion, they should have dragged out a little bit, just a wee bit.
You don't like that it wasn't a full slow burn.
It wasn't a full slow burn.
That's why. See,
I am a slow burn
That's
girl.
What makes us different. I don't like a slow burn.
I need a slow. Because here's the thing.
Which is also why I don't think I'm gonna like the rest of the series. because I know for a fact.
Okay,
it's
so you don't like slow burns. I
don't.
think okay, guys, look at me. A slow burn is essential. For this type of story. You need a slow burn because it was so apparent that I don't like her.
You know
I don't
what?
like her. This is literally just for our convenience.
Yeah.
And then he was like, from my memory, didn't they just be like, okay, I slept at a hotel and now we're...
Oh, it's a one-bed trope.
The one-bed trope.
They go to stay at a hotel because there's a conference going on.
Yeah.
And they both have to attend. And there's only one bed. Oops.
Guess who has feelings now?
Oops.
I was so angry just going, oops, at the camera. Because for me, I read it. I had to be honest. I read it.
Oh.
And I just looked at it and I was like...
Okay, I choose to look past it. That's
biased, though. That's hypocritical. Because there's so many things that I looked past and you're like, No.
Yeah, because those are logistical things in the storytelling. This is just one thing that you don't like.
Okay,
and it's the slow burn.
Here's the thing, though, right? The one bed trope and a slow burn. You cannot have a one bed trope and a slow burn.
But I never said it was a slow burn.
I know, but you made it out to think like
I
never
said
it was a slow burn.
I never said it was.
But it was implied.
If you want a slow burn, she does have a sort of slow burn in Love Theoretically.
Okay.
Which arguably I like better than Love Hypothesis. Because the main character essentially is, to make extra money, she fake dates people.
Okay, I like that.
And it's also the enemies to lovers trope.
I am a little sucker for certain enemies to lovers.
So I think you would prefer Love Theoretically, and I can give you a copy because I have it.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So I think all the problems would be solved if you read Love Theoretically, because that arguably is one of her best ones.
So what I'm hearing is that we both say from both main authors mentioned in this podcast that you need to read a second book to really get into it.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, this one, the series, like Allie Hazel, these aren't series.
Yeah, these are just separate.
These are just separate books, but Olive and I'm forgetting his name.
Hold on.
Adam. Had to think. Because he's inspired by Adam Driver, so I had to think. Olive and Adam show up again in the Love Theoretically for like a brief cameo.
Yeah.
They're just referenced, and then it's their own story. Yeah. So now that we did full circle and came back to Allie Hazelwood, but
don't worry, guys. The next podcast we're gonna have a structure.
So collectively, it's a 4.5.
It's a 4.5 collectively.
So that will be put up on our Instagram.
It's on our Instagram. It's gonna be on our Goodreads.
Yeah. So please follow us on Goodreads too.
Follow us on Goodreads, guys.
You can read it along with us.
But also, we're gonna both be you're very active on our Instagram.
I am.
But we're gonna also be very active, and I really want to start putting up polls. I mean, like, what do you guys think? What do you guys want to say? Like, we're going to have little comment things. We don't have to publicly post them, but we do see them. Mm-hmm. Like, I will be in class, and if I see a notification go off from our Spells and Spines little Instagram, I am clicking on it. Mm-hmm. So, we will see.
There was a point where we were both responding to Roaming with Books at the same time.
At the same time. And it's like, I texted Leslie, and I was like, so are you trying to respond to that? How do we respond to this question? And then I was like, okay, Leslie's taking the lead.
Yeah.
So if you guys DM us on Instagram, it's most likely Leslie.
Yeah.
And if you see the clips and the little funny tidbits, it's me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now on to the book. I will say I was surprised how much I was hooked into it. Which is saying something, because I don't get hooked in easily.
She does do a really good job. Like I tell you, it's not really about like.
If I forget that it's not meant to be good writing,
then you're gonna be entertained.
It's because I hold so much to, like, as a creative writing major, I work so hard in my own work to make it like good writing.
Right.
So I hold other people to such a standard,
right?
Which I probably shouldn't, because like some authors are just here for the vibes, and I feel like Sarah J. Maas she's here for the vibes. like it's, you're not really there to get like, let's say, Jane Austen quality writing.
Okay. I can respect that.
Cause let's say in the respect of romance writing,
right?
Jane Austen is the high accord,
right?
Especially because she is the OG enemies to lovers.
Absolutely. Literally the
OG enemies to lovers, like the creator of the enemies to lovers trope.
We love you for that.
We love you for that. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. my guy.
R.I.P.
But I will say that I was very surprised by it, and I don't like the main character. I don't like Feyre. I don't like her. It's the same way that how you feel about Olive.
Yeah.
I don't like her. And
I wasn't the biggest fan of... Okay, I'm going to be here for you guys, and I'm going to be honest. I'm here for Rhysand.
Oh, yeah. I'm here for Rhysand.
I'm also here for all the people that are with Rhysand.
You know,
but here's the thing, though. For you, and this is big spoiler ahead, and this is also a spoiler for you, but not really. You need to read the second book to
fully appreciate him.
Fully appreciate Rhysand.
For the man that he is.
Because there's so much lore. And if you really have a... Do you like Tamlin?
No.
Okay.
He's boring as fuck. I'm sorry.
He's boring, but he gets worse.
He gives season 1 Stefan energy from Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. And then you're gonna feel like he's...
And then when Daemon comes in to the mix,
he's
I'm like,
gonna start giving a little bit of Silas, but Matt at the same time. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, I know.
That's a gross combo.
I know. But here's the thing. With that combo, you're gonna love Rhysand.
Oh, yeah. Because I feel like Rhysand is like a combo between Klaus and Daemon Salvatore.
And I love it.
And I think that's so hot.
It is.
And you know what? Because because this is what I get from him. And because I listened to the audiobook because it made it easier for me to get through it.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, Leslie doesn't have the attention span anymore. she does not have the time.
Guys, it's finals week.
It's finals week.
It's finals week.
I just had my birthday yesterday.
It was yesterday.
So I did not have time.
It's okay.
So I listened to the audiobook.
Audiobooks are still valid.
And it was the fact that the way that he came in, like Rhysand came in.
Yeah, he
was just like... Oh.
He's about business, but he's also like... He has that silly, goofy energy.
It gave the energy of... Like, I feel like the energy we'll get later from him is like, if you touch her, you die.
Right.
That's the energy that I'm getting from him.
Absolutely.
Because, like...
It's not even energy, it's aura.
Whereas, like, what I'm getting from Tamlin is, like, oh, like, don't hurt her.
Please.
Please don't hurt her.
Please don't hurt her. Please.
That's all I'm getting from him. That's all I'm getting from him.
It's very, like... I'm trying my best not to spoil it too much, but without going into too much detail, he gets very overprotective. And I don't even want to call overprotective. He gets possessive.
Is it giving Dean from Gilmore Girls circa, like, season 2?
A little bit.
Like, pre-Jess?
Little.
Like when Jess comes on the
yes,
scene?
Yes, but, like, kind of worse a little bit.
Worse than calling Rory's house multiple times, asking to see if she was there?
No, like, okay, this is huge spoiler, guys. Please skip, like, 15 seconds if you don't want to hear it. It's
but
giving...
I told it.
Yeah, but it's given, like, he traps her in, like, a magical-ass bubble to make sure she doesn't leave the house.
Circa Glinda from Wicked.
It's giving, it is giving Glinda's sister, or Glinda's brother.
Is it giving that energy? Is it giving, the Volturi locking all their wives into the tower so that way they don't get hurt kind of vibes?
Yeah. Okay. Except it's more like a...
And they can't leave the tower ever?
Yeah. Yeah. Except
it's giving Mother Gothel and Rapunzel energy.
It's giving Rapunzel. It is giving Rapunzel. And I don't like it.
But so I'm not excited for that.
I love when I can hate a character.
Yeah.
With all my energy.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get me to hate a character, that's fine. Because here's the thing. It's very easy to make someone fall in love with a character, give them good qualities, good attributes. But it's a little harder, I would say, to make me hate someone because it's like, oh, they do this. It's like, they're kind of iffy. Or that's just, like, their persona. I don't hate them, but I genuinely have a large dislike for Tamlin.
Yeah. And I think that kind of affects me because you're supposed to like him up to this point in the first book. You're supposed to.
I feel like after the last 10, no,
giving
the last
the fact,
5 chapters.
Okay, giving the fact that this is supposed to be based off of Beauty and the Beast, the first one is at least.
Oh yeah.
You're supposed to like Tamlin.
Yeah.
Or at least grow to like him.
Yeah, you're supposed to like him.
And I don't.
Well, it's because you read into it. Like, we are very, like, a lot of people read it for fun because that's the vibe that it's giving. It's giving, this is a good read that's going to draw you in. You're going to just want to keep reading it, and that's what's going to make you want to be in the series. I feel like the first book, and this might not even be her intention, but the first book is to draw you into the series.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, this can't be it. Like, I finished the book and I was like, this can't be it, right? There's more.
There has to be more.
Like, there has to be more lore. There has to be something. Like, give me something. And the book gives you something.
Yeah.
So
like,
yeah.
with that, with just having read only the first book so far.
Okay.
I think I'm ready to give my rating.
Okay. I will mark down your rating as we speak.
Okay.
I'm a little scared, guys.
I give it, and this is being generous.
Okay.
This is me being generous.
Okay.
A 3.5. I think that's fair.
You know what?
I think that's fair.
It's fair.
For the first book. For the first book.
So, for ACOTAR, your rating is a 3 out of 5?
Yeah. No, a 3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5.
3.5.
Okay.
And my reasoning for is because I can't stand the main character. I can't stand her. I can't. It's giving Elena. it's giving that. I'm sorry. I can't. If you have to see what I'm learning in my class right now is you have to even if your main character is like insufferable. Yeah. You have to give a little bit, like a little sugar. Yeah. To make me want to keep reading. She has backbone. I think her backbone is literally so much, not even close. She has a lot of plot armor. Yeah. She's a lot. Like, okay. I'm trying to see. This was in the first book. The first book, and again, spoilers, guys. The worm scene. Oh. There's no way. No way she said, because the way every fae or fairy was like, how did she survive that? Me, a mythical being, cannot survive. How did this girl who literally hunts, like, random animals, be a gigantic worm with razor-sharp teeth? That's one thing. And the other thing is that when Tamlin tells her, don't go to this party because you're not allowed to go. You have to stay in here for your own safety. Yeah. And then she, like, follows orders for a paragraph. And then decides to go. Okay, but then she gets told, like, oh, he has to act beast-like in this situation sexually. Yeah. To get out all this magic. Yeah. And he can't control himself. Yeah. But then she blames him for, like, hurting her when she could have just stayed in her little room. Yeah. She's stupid. The whole party itself, the festival. Oh. I forget. I'll put it on the screen. I forget. But for that mythical fairy event thing where he was like, don't leave the house. Here's the thing. One thing that I had to remind myself, it's like, it's what I do. I have to remind myself, like, oh, when I'm bored in the house, what am I going to go? I'm going to go outside and I'm going to do something crazy for the plot of my life. If she stayed in the book, you would be like, Sarah, that was boring. Sarah. Yeah. Like, what is this? Go outside. Get it. Go get the adventure, girl. It's meant to move the plot forward. And I understand. She did. And I understand. And you continue to read it. And it's my same issue in film with stupid characters. It's meant to move the plot forward. And it did. I get it. And it did. She did her job. It did what it's meant to do. But I can still comment that it was stupid by the character. Absolutely. A lot of the characters are incredibly stupid. They do some really dumb stuff, and it's meant to make you emotional. This series is meant to make you go through all 5 stages of grief. Yeah. And it did. Your rating. My rating. You'll be surprised by this. Is it a 4?
It is a 4.
I was like, is it a 4?
It's a 4.
So I guess our combined rating will be a 4.
A 4. So I will.
Or technically, I guess.
I'm so sorry, guys.
I think that's math. I don't know.
Combined rating is a 4. Oh wait, I literally had it listed as a 4.
Oh.
Ooh, so I didn't lie, guys. I swear. So combined rating, 4. What do you think our combined rating should be for Love Hypothesis?
Well, what did I say?
We said it would be around a 4.6 because you said it was like a.
Did I say
you gave it a 5,
and you said 4. No, 4.3.
Yeah.
So I think it should be around 4.5.
Okay.
That's math, guys. I'm not I don't know math.
Okay, I'll change it. It was a 4.6. I'm gonna change it to a 4.5.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
4.5 for Love Hypothesis on Goodreads, and then for ACOTAR, we're gonna put what?
You said a 4. Because I said 3.5 and you said 4.
Okay, so we'll put 4.
To wrap up this
area. Soon, our podcast schedule for the holidays is going to be a little weird. Mm-hmm. So, I was thinking...
We'll definitely upload our schedule.
We'll upload our schedule.
That would be smart.
We'll have an upload schedule, and we'll keep you guys posted. But during the holidays, I am chronically on my phone. So if you guys want to keep me entertained and continue with those polls, let us know. Give me more reading recommendations. Then I'm down for that. And
we'll have a month because we'll have a month.
Yeah, we're gonna go on break, guys. We won't be in the podcast studio, but
we'll be chronically online.
We'll be chronically online. But speaking of recommendations, don't you have a recommendation you'd like to show?
So I worked at a library over the summer, so that was able to give me a lot of advanced reader copies.
Yeah. And
I have one recommendation, and it's Fang Fiction by Kate Stayman London. Now, I'm like maybe halfway through this book so far.
Okay.
It is actually, arguably, it is vampire fiction. It is vampire fiction. Of course it is. It's me. And I'll give like a little synopsis. Like, the world of your favorite fantasy novel is real, and you're invited to visit. The only catch, it's filled with thirsty vampires. So it's like...
So they're aware.
In this series, you are aware of that, like, Twilight exists. That, like, this whole, like,
all the vampire-y stuff exists.
Okay. And I think that it's very, like, parodying on, like, a lot of things. And I think it's really funny.
I like parodies. I like them.
And I really like it so far. The main character is not as annoying.
Okay, on a scale of Elena to Caroline.
But, like, what era of Caroline? Season 1 Caroline?
Yeah.
Well, that's not a fair scale, because, like, Caroline's less insufferable than Elena.
Okay. Season 7, Caroline.
Okay. To Elena?
Just Elena.
I would say closer to, Season 7, Caroline.
Okay. I could deal with that.
Closer. Less insufferable than Elena, and more aligning with Season 7 of Caroline.
Okay.
With that being said, guys, that's all we have for you today.
Yes.
So please hit the like button, hit subscribe,
comment down below. We love you guys. We appreciate all of the amazing positivity and just like the encouragement that you guys give us. So thank you. Yes. We just want to say thank you.
And because we probably won't be able to get another episode out before the holiday season hits, we want to wish everyone a happy holidays, no matter what holiday you celebrate. And please give us a follow on YouTube, on Instagram, and on TikTok.
Yes. And make sure to listen to us on listening platforms like Spotify.
Yes.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.